Mr. President and Madam First Lady, thank you so much for signing our condolences book for the passing of His Excellency late Dr. John Pombe Joseph Magufuli. I would like to take this opportunity to recognize the presence of the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Honorable Sam Kutesa, the Acting Permanent Secretary, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Kafero, and the Dean of Diplomatic Corps, the Ambassador of Eritrea, Ambassador Mohammed. Mr. President, allow me, if it pleases you, to take this opportunity to address your brothers and sisters in Tanzania and Ugandans. Thank you so much.
Your Excellency, Ambassador of Tanzania, the Dean of the Diplomatic Corps, the Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs, and the people of Tanzania who are now mourning. When I left the house, the morning was in the stadium in Dodoma, because I've been watching what has been going on. What I wrote in the book here is that 2 weeks ago I had written to His Excellency Magufuli a letter about the pipeline. This was because today, 22nd of March, was supposed to be the signing day for the tripartite between Uganda, Tanzania, and the Total company. The signing was supposed to be in Entebbe today, 22nd. In the letter, I had jokingly written that today would be a double victory day, because about 42 years ago, yesterday, 21st of March, the Tanzanian People's Defense Forces, together with our freedom fighters, with me present, had defeated the army of Idi Amin in their counterattack against the town of Mbarara at a place called Rugando, 12 miles from Mbarara, on the Cavalry Road. So I was joking, I was saying that today would be a double victory, a day for double victory for military and political and economic. Little did I know that today I will be here signing a condolences book. This is so sad, so unexpected. It's really... However, as I wrote in the book, we the freedom fighters have long learned how to deal with such challenges. The death of Mondlane, 1969, the death of Samora Machel, the death of Agostinho Neto, the death of Herbert Chitepo, the death of Oliver Tambo, the death of Mwalimu Nyerere, the death of America Cabral, the death of John Garang, never stop us from moving forward. So therefore, the challenge is that those who are living continue the struggle. This is what I wrote in the book. And I wrote that His Excellency Magufuli was such a dedicated servant of the people of Tanzania, the people of East Africa, and the people of Africa. It is such a great loss, but it should be a challenge, because I could see how sad the people of Tanzania were, the ones who have been flocking in the stadium to say goodbye to him. So therefore, it is the challenge of those who are alive to continue the struggle, as we did in the past. Because when we lost our comrades, we never gave up. And because we never gave up, we succeeded. And even this time, we shall succeed. May the Almighty God rest his soul in eternal peace. I extend condolences to the Tanzanians, to the East Africans, to the Africans, to CCM, and to the family of His Excellency Magufuli. Thank you so much.
Magufuli, the 5th President of the United Republic of Tanzania. And President Yoweri Museveni has taken us through actually the history of Pan-Africans, great Pan-Africans actually, who died while on the African people and the African continent, and says that has not deterred them and the struggle of liberating the continent, the struggle of having a continent that actually is united and works for the African people still continues. Yes, Mututa, let's, from what the President has said, he talks about President Magufuli as somebody who actually loved his people, loved the region and loved the continent, and was working very hard for them.
And he also, of course, lists other African leaders who have been pioneers of the struggle of the black people. And in that, the President also reminds Ugandans of the great leader that President Magufuli was, under the loss that has been inflicted on the nation of Tanzania, given his death. And indeed, you can see from what you have been reading and what you have been following on the screens, the pain, the love that Tanzanians had for Magufuli, and the pain they are going through as a result of the loss. I mean, we have been losing presidents in this world. But for those who loved him and for those who didn't love him, I think that they have equally lost. Because I think Magufuli was a person who you could not recognize wherever he is, wherever he was, be it in a church, be it in a stadium where there was football, be it in a market where he had moved. But his loss definitely comes as a big loss, especially to the African bloc. But also, when you look at particularly East Africa, that he yesterday, when before his death, Professor of yours, professor was talking, and one of the professors was talking about Magufuli, and saying that maybe he was moving too fast than the rest of Tanzania. because Tanzanians they have a pace at which they do their things.
Yeah, but in his 5 years
Yes.
as president, he tried to change that.
Yes.
Yes, that now these days you see they were very quick at
Yeah.
doing things, that they made sure that they do things and in time.
Yeah.
Yes, but as the president really put it, because Tanzania was one of the countries that really did help Uganda as and when they were fighting the dictatorship of Idi Amin in the 70s, and as he rightly put it, that every other day, of course, it is always victory, because there are certain things they remember then in the 70s, especially 1979, what happened at that time and what is happening today. But we are told that the burial has actually been shifted from Thursday. All along we knew Thursday, but we're being told that it's now Friday, and other presidents in the region are expected actually to be part of the people who are going to see Magufuli being sent off in a very honorable manner. And he will be buried in Chato. Chato, that is his ancestral place, that is his home place. And we must not forget that before he became president, he was member of parliament for Chato. But before being member of parliament for Chato, he was member of parliament for Biharamulo. And he was, we are lucky that former President John Pombe Magufuli would speak his language, that is Kisukuma. He would speak Jaluo, and would also speak Kihaya. Kihaya is related to Kinyankole and Kichiga, that is the people of Kagera. Now here in Uganda, how are we going to remember former President Dr. John Pombe Magufuli?
As we speak now, the body of the late president, the former president of Tanzania, is in Dodoma, where there will be the public viewing, and I think what is going on now, the speeches of the dignitaries who are attending the Dodoma function, as the last part of his journey, as he heads towards the body, he heads to Chato for burial on Thursday. In fact, earlier, during the swearing in, the president had indicated that the burial will be on Thursday, on 25th. But I think after other consultations, we now are meant to understand that the body will actually be buried on Friday, on 26th, in Chato, and of course, according to the government, that will also be a public holiday. Now, coming back to the question how Ugandans will remember Magufuli, is that first of all, I think he was a friend of Uganda, and they had a lot of collabo with President Museveni. In his speech, he was talking of today, as we speak, when he was signing a book of condolence, was supposed to be signing a tripartite of cooperation with Tanzania and
Tanzania, Uganda, and Total.
But instead signing a condolence book to send off one of his comrades with whom they have actually worked closely. But also, you know, Magufuli had also, I think, a softer part for Uganda. Remember, Uganda is one of the countries that he visited in his time as president of the Republic.
Because he was not known for visiting countries.
Visiting many countries.
Yes.
Yeah, so Uganda was one of the countries that he visited. But also, and actually twice. There is one time he visited, I think we had one of the public functions, independent or something like that. But also there was the second time he visited when we were opening the border post in Mutukula. So I think he had also a softer part in his heart for Uganda. I know he has also been very strong on certain positions with some countries in the region, but Uganda, he has been a bit soft on his working with the leadership, but also knowing that many people in this country who are Tanzanians, but also the history that has been created between Tanzania and Uganda in terms of struggle for independence, in terms of liberation and support for liberating each other country during our bad days. So it has been a lot of collaboration between, and still continues, Uganda and Tanzania.
Yeah, I think in the history of Tanzania, Dr. John Pombe Magufuli was the first president actually to come from a very large tribe, because most of the presidents came from small tribes in Tanzania. So he becomes the first president to come from a large tribe. The Sukuma is the largest. The Sukuma are the largest tribe in Tanzania. But equally important, he was also the first president to have the vice president as a woman, or to have a woman as a running mate, and subsequently becomes the first president to have a successor who is actually a woman. Now, as we can see from TBC, today we are in Dodoma. Today they are in Dodoma, and the Dodoma, that is the seat, or that is the government seat. And President John Pombe Magufuli, actually former President John Pombe Magufuli, we see that he is the, when he came to power, you see most of the ministries, most of the had refused to shift to Dodoma. They were actually, you'd say that they would, much as they had the headquarters in Dodoma, but they would prefer working in Dar es Salaam. And when he became president, he said, look here, you have all to shift to Dodoma. The capital city has to be operationalized, and that is how now people started shifting. And now, by the time he died, Dodoma was now getting that face of a capital city. Most of the government business was shifting from Dar es Salaam to Dodoma. Now, let's look at this to the people of East Africa. Indeed, it is such a sad day, because the first time in East Africa we lost a sitting head of state. That was in 1978. That was in Kenya, when Mzee Jomo Kenyatta died. But we say we wish the people of Tanzania strength as they are mourning their loved one, as they are mourning one of their leaders, whom the world actually, and more so Africans, had great hope. Now let's get to the Pan-Africans. Pan-Africans, normally we don't mourn, but we celebrate the lives of great people that have made an impact. So how are we going to celebrate the life and times of Dr. John Pombe Magufuli?
With the Pan-Africanism and generally African culture is that when a person passes on, what happens is that, and no wonder, you know, we usually don't talk about the bad things that a person has committed when he's still alive. When he passes on, the bad things are usually forgotten, because we then know there is a legacy that follows him. If this person has been a bad person, of course you may not talk about his badness, but the badness will follow them. But Magufuli, we are talking about his legacy, that he has left Tanzania with a history, with a legacy, that the things that he has done in his lifetime as a president, in his first Kisanja as a president, have actually proven to be even greater than maybe some of the presidents who have put.
Ndugu Mtuta, if you can hold it there, let's go to Dodoma and we listen to the poem.
Enda baba, tutakutana uko mbeleni, nitaikumbuka ile kofia ulonivisha kwa kampeni. Hayafutiki, tuwezi sahau mazuri umefanya, Magufuli.